Please don't be a little.
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Hi.
Hi
Hi
there.
there. Hello.
How are
How are
you?
you? I'm great. How are you?
I'm
I'm
great.
great. That's great. So,
Yeah.
I believe I disagree with your topic.
Okay.
Okay.
Why?
Why?
Wait,
Wait,
before we even
before we even
start,
start,
sorry.
sorry.
Um,
Yeah.
let's
Let's
let's just get
let's
our
just get our
terms
terms
correctly.
correctly. Okay.
Murder is
Is
the
the
justified
justified
killing of a
killing
human
of a
life.
human life. Yes.
All right,
All
go
right.
ahead.
Go ahead. So, I think AB is murder.
All right.
Right. I think it is an unjust killing of a life that is
Okay.
human. I don't think no reason is justifiable enough to end another future living child's life. And I think it should still be illegal in most states of America.
All right.
All right.
So,
So
I'm just
I'm
gonna
just
say
gonna
this real
say
quick.
real quick.
I
I
personally
personally
believe that
believe that
AB
AB
isn't
isn't
murder,
murder,
and it's
and it's
certainly
certainly
not
not
inhumane.
inhumane.
I
I
believe it
believe
keeps
it
women
keeps women
alive and
alive and
healthy and
healthy and
prevents
prevents
actual
actual
babies from
babies
being
from being
born into
born into
terrible
terrible
lives.
lives.
I don't
I
think
don't
there's
think there's
any other
any other
propaganda
propaganda
between that.
between that.
I feel
I
like
feel like
murder
murder
again is the
again is the
unjustified
unjustified
killing of a
killing of a
human life.
human life.
I don't
I
think
don't
there's
think there's
any
any
unjustified
unjustified
reason why a
reason why a
woman
woman
would and would
and
not
would
get an
not get an
AB,
AB,
as most
as most
abortions
abortions
happen in the
happen in the
first place,
first
is
place, is
because
because
women are
women
not
are not
financially
financially
stable enough
stable
to
enough
take
to
care of
take care of
children.
children.
I feel like
I
that
feel
is
like
a
that is a
very
very
reasonable
reasonable
reason to not
reason
want
to
a
not want a
child, right?
child,
Because
right?
when
Because
children are
children are
expensive,
expensive,
and
and
simply just
simply
not
just
wanting a
not
child
wanting a
in
child in
general. I
general.
feel
I
like if
feel
you
like if
don't
you
want a
don't want a
child,
child,
you should
you
not
should not
be.
be.
There's no
There's no
obligation to get
obligation
an
to get an
abortion
abortion
because
because
you're not
you're not
forced to. So
forced to.
why
So
not?
why not? You know.
Um, but let me put
Let
it
me
in
put it
this
in this
perspective,
perspective,
right?
right?
So
So
let's
let's
say
say
a
a
person and they
person they
needed
needed
your
your
blood
blood
in
in
order
order
to
to
um survive at
survive
their
at
risk
their
of
risk of
dying. Do
dying.
you
Do
think
you
there's
think there's
any
any
right or
right or
wrong if
wrong
someone
if
would have
someone
said
would have
yes
said
or
yes
no?
or
Like,
no? Like,
do you
do you
believe that
believe
there's
that
any
there's
right
any
or
right
wrong
or
in
wrong
that?
in that?
If you
Well,
would
I would
donate your
donate
blood,
your
if you don't.
don't.
Like, do
Like,
you think
do you
there's
think
any
there's
right
any
or
right or
wrong?
wrong? I would feel like it's a little bit wrong because why wouldn't you try to save somebody else's life if you had the opportunity? And I feel like you need to know somebody to want to save their life. There's been plenty of instances where people save lives that they don't even know, and it probably won't help them in the long run, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't feel like it's wrong. But this instance, I wouldn't compare because it's not like that person is related to you, let alone your future child. So I feel like people should be more obligated to do that because it's the
But
child.
there's
But there's
no,
no,
but there's
but
no
there's no
obligation, right?
obligation,
There's
right?
no
There's
right
no
and
right
wrong
and
in that.
wrong in
It
that.
would be
It
the
would be
right
the
thing to
right thing to
do.
do.
But if you're
But if
not
you're not
forced to,
forced to,
if you don't
if you don't
want to,
want to,
like, there's no
there's no
like,
like,
there's no
there's no
obligation between
obligation
that.
between
You
that.
agree,
You agree,
right?
right? No, I feel like there is. That's why it's a law
Yeah,
in
but
some
again, like,
states.
so
So
you kind
you
of
kind
said
of
you
said you
think
think
so, but
so,
you don't
but you
think
don't
there's
think
any
there's any
wrong to
wrong
it,
to it.
but it would
But it
be the
would be
right
the
thing
right
to
thing
do,
to do,
right? But if
right?
you're
But if
not
you're not
forced
forced
to,
to,
or you
or you
just
just
genuinely don't want
genuinely
to
don't
give
want to
your
give
blood
your
to
blood to
someone
someone
random, right?
random, right?
Because you
Because
said
you
you're not
said
a
you're not a
relative
relative
or someone
or
that you
someone that
don't
you don't
know
know
personally,
personally,
that there's
that
no
there's no
obligation in
obligation in
between that,
between that,
right?
right? No, it wouldn't be.
Right.
Right. But
So,
then I also stated that
yeah.
I wouldn't find fit because isn't your child or someone you're related to. So you
Right.
wouldn't even feel no type of way other than like whatever or oh I did a good deed. You wouldn't feel like some guilt. And people who do ABs, they do feel guilty even though they probably didn't want the child and you feel like
Mm-hmm.
it was the best fit. They still at the end of the day feel guilty because of the fact that it's still their child.
I
I
completely see what
completely
you
see what you
mean.
mean.
But like
But like
this,
this,
let's say
let's
this
say
even
this
goes
even
for a
goes for a
relative.
relative.
Some
Some
cases do
cases do
happen that
happen
way.
that way.
Do you
Do you
believe that
believe
that
that
person
that person
should still
should
be
still be
held
held
accountable just
accountable
because
just
they
because
didn't
they didn't
donate their
donate their
blood to
blood
like
to
a
like
family
a family
member,
member?
or
Or
again, even
again,
someone
even someone
random?
random?
Like, do you
Like, do
think
you
there's
think there's
any
any
obligation
obligation
between that?
between that? Well, people might look at them like differently. Like you had an opportunity to do a good deed and you choose not to.
Right.
For what? So I feel
Yeah,
like
hundred
people
percent.
would feel the type of way even though they didn't have this super obligated need to. People will still figure like what's like are you okay? Like why wouldn't you want to help somebody?
But
Like I
again,
would like
that's
to help
yeah.
somebody.
Why do you
Why do you
think like
think like
okay, but
okay, but
yeah, that's
yeah,
you,
that's you,
right?
right?
But that
But
doesn't
that
go
doesn't
for
go for
everyone,
everyone,
right? So you
right? So
don't
you
think
don't
that
think
there's
that there's
any
any
obligated
obligated
reason for
reason for
someone to
someone to
donate their
donate
blood
their
to
blood
someone
to someone
random
random.
if they don't want to?
And I also don't see no obligation reason why not to either.
Right.
Right.
Okay. And
Okay.
that's
And that's
I
so
completely
pretty
agree with that,
neutral.
right?
Right?
So I would
Yes.
say the same principle or rule applies to the mom and the fetus, right? A woman is not obligated to keep giving up her body just to make sure that the fetus survives, which means if it's not an obligatory thing to do, means that you don't have to do it. So you can choose to terminate the pregnancy or the fetus. And I believe that this should also apply to women of all cases, regardless of if the woman is assaulted or just doesn't want to have kids. So by your same statement, you're saying that there is no obligation. You're giving a woman a justified reason to terminate the pregnancy.
No, that's not what I'm saying at all.
But that is what you're saying. If you think there's
How?
no obligatory reason for a person, right, to give away their blood to someone random, because that's the right thing to do, like you just agreed. But if you genuinely do not want to because there's no obligation in between of it, then you shouldn't have to, right? It's a choice, right?
Yeah, but I also stated, this is my third time telling you that I don't see the comparison. So you can't act like, oh, I know the comparison, like it's the same, because it's really not the same. Because again, for the third time, this is not so, well, yeah, they didn't have a certain time to do a certain deed to get that supply of blood in that instance. They're not family, and it's not their child, it's not their offspring. So I wouldn't even compare that to, first of all.
Okay, but
So I
again,
wouldn't say that if I wouldn't compare it.
Yeah, but again, like I said, most of these cases also happen to family members, right? Just because someone, even if
Like
it's someone
blood?
that some of the cases actually happen to family members. So I asked you, do you believe that even if it's your family member and they don't donate your blood to them, do you think that that is inhumane of them? Do you think that there's
Yes.
any
If it was your
obligation?
family,
You said
yeah,
no.
like why
So
wouldn't you? Yeah.
why wouldn't you? Because you're not obligated to do that. There's no obligation to it. There's no right or wrong to it. If you
It
don't want
would
to
be a
donate
wrong
blood
though.
to someone because you don't want to, it should not be wrong. Same if you would have donated your blood to someone because it's the right thing to do, right? But if there's no obligation to it, as in there's no right or wrong, why would that wouldn't make it inhumane or wrong, right? And you would
Okay, but
agree.
I get what you're saying, but at the
Mm-hmm.
same time, like you're trying to sit there and like put things in my mouth that I never stated.
I'm 100%.
So you're telling me, oh, this is what you're saying. This is what you're saying, right? And I'm like, no, I'm not saying that. And then you keep on like, well, yeah. And then you keep on saying the same thing over and over again. It's like, oh, you mean this? You mean this? No, I don't.
But that is what you said, honey. Okay, so
No, it wasn't.
I wanna actually hear what you say, right? So
Okay, great. So let me explain it to you.
Okay, go ahead.
So when it's your family member, I feel like you definitely would have an obligation to donate your blood, right? And it would be morally wrong and bad of you if you didn't, okay? Because it's more than just a stranger, it's your family. So I feel like they would be obligated to do that. And it would be morally wrong if they didn't.
Morally wrong, right? But again, if someone weren't to, do you think that's inhumane of them? Because they didn't want to give
Yes,
their blood.
I do think it's inhumane. Yes, I do think it's inhumane.
Okay, so what about someone random? And why do you?
I already said it.
Inhumane. Again, that would be the right thing to do to donate your blood to someone, right? But again, there's no obligation towards it because you're
No,
saying
but I'm saying it is. I'm saying it is.
You're saying it is, but it's not, right? Because
To you, it isn't.
No, like genuinely, like morally, it's not.
No, it is would be in my worldview. It would be morally inhumane.
But
Yes.
morally, like even just subjective morals, like it's not. Again, if you
Well,
don't want to
okay,
donate
that's
your
what you
blood
believe. That's
for
okay.
or someone random, that doesn't make it wrong.
Okay, well, I get what you're saying, but you're trying to put the same things applied, which you would feel like morally right to me, which obviously I wouldn't agree with you on that certain stance.
But you should if you say one
But I
thing.
should, but I don't.
But
I should, but I
again, like
don't.
if you apply one thing to another argument, as in not donating your blood to someone because you feel like there's no obligation towards it, then you should also feel the same about abortion because it's the exact same scenario, just a different.
It's not the exact same whatsoever.
I said it was the same scenario if you would apply it to your. Yeah.
Well, let me tell you something. So what's difference with those examples is it is, you're giving like your life source to somebody else, but it's not to the full degree it would be for pregnancy. So I wouldn't even compare those two at all. I don't think you can compare something like that other than you raising a child as close as it could be to pregnancy. Now, with those examples you gave me, they didn't have time to conceive like some type of condition where they needed blood source. But in pregnancy, you did have time to conceive the child, right? So it's not like this was just a spew of the moment. You knew the risk, you took it. Okay, maybe you didn't know. You didn't understand maybe that as well. But this is what you have now.
Okay,
So
and you say that you apply that if you think that principle, right, that there is no obligation to give away your blood or anything to
no,
a
I
random
think it
stranger.
is.
Don't.
Oh, wait, to a random stranger? No, but I don't know why
Right.
you
But
keep on
even
going
just
back to that.
but even just for family though. Like you still believe
I
that there's
don't,
no
though.
obligation, right?
I,
Okay, so you don't, right? So there's no obligation towards it, meaning there's no right or wrong.
okay, but
Because
you can't take what I'm giving you as an answer. So why do you keep on going back? I'm
because
literally
you're
telling you what I'm
not answering
saying.
a specific question and then you're not turning it into
What
another
answer do you want me to?
hypothetical.
What question are you asking me?
Okay, so I asked you, so let me tell you again. Do you think, even for a family member or someone random, if they needed your blood in order for them to survive, right? Do you think there's any obligation towards it, as in right or wrong, to that? Like, do you think you're wrong if you do it, or do you think, like, I feel like it would be the right thing to do if you would have gave your blood to them, but if there's no obligation towards it, that means that doesn't make it wrong. You can agree
Okay,
with that, right?
so again, I can't answer those two questions because those are two separate things in the same answer.
No, it's not.
So I
Do
would
you
have
know
to
what
give
it
different
is?
answers because those two questions don't. There, you wouldn't view it the same. You would view the
Do you
family
know
member,
what
so I would answer those questions differently. I wouldn't say the same answer.
Do you know what an obligation is, ma'am?
When you have to do something.
No, when it's a right or wrong, morally, or no, actually legally.
No, I don't feel like that is what that is.
Maybe you should search it up. It means that it's an obligation is where there's no right or wrong doing to a certain specific topic. So if
Okay,
I
let
were
me
to
look up
tell
the
you,
definition.
there's no, huh?
Now I'm looking at the definition. It says
Mm-hmm.
an obligation is something you must do because of law, rule, promise, or a moral duty. And I just said obligation is something that you have to do. And you're saying it's either a bad or good situation you don't have to do. So that's wrong, what
Again,
you
I'm
just
thinking of
stated.
morally. It says moral choice, right? So
No, it
a
doesn't.
person's social choice to do what is right, as in helping a friend, as in donating your blood to someone,
It
as
says a
in
moral
and all
duty.
that
Do you know
stuff.
what a duty is? Not a
Do you know
choice.
what a legal view is?
No, a
I'm
duty.
sure I said legal and moral term.
You said moral choice. It's not. It didn't say choice in the definition. It said moral duty.
Okay, but legally, I want you to search up the legal definition because I'm pretty sure I
Okay,
searched
a
up the
legal
moral.
definition is a duty required by law or a signed contract, such as paying taxes or paying a loan, blah, blah, blah.
That's legal. I said moral.
You said legal, but okay. A duty based on your personal sense of right and wrong. No court
Right.
forces you to do it, but you do it because it feels like the right thing to do. That's what
Right.
it
So I
says.
said it would be the right thing to do, but you're not subjected to that. If you're not forced to
I
do
didn't
it, that doesn't
say it
make it
was
right
nothing
or wrong.
about
No, that's
that.
what I said. I didn't say you said that.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying that if you were to not donate your blood, there's no obligation toward that because there's no right or wrong doing. Yes, it would be the right thing to do, but if you're not forced or obligated to, then that doesn't make it inhumane or wrong.
Okay, can I just say what I'm saying?
Sure, but you can agree with that, right?
No. I would just
So
like to
why?
move on. I would just like to move on, please. I like because I'm that you're giving me, but you're saying that I'm not answering it. So all I'm going to do is keep on, but all I'm going to do is say the same thing over and over again. So that's not going to get nowhere because I generally feel like I'm answering the question.
Okay, but that's like literally my entire standpoint. If you don't believe that there's any obligation to donating your blood to someone random or a family member, then you should apply that same rule and principle to
But I do feel
abortion.
like you should be obligated to
And
do
why
that
is
to you,
that?
to the family member, not to the stranger, to the family member.
Okay, why?
Because that's your family. You would rather do more for your family. Hold on, you would rather do more for your family, especially if it's like life or death, than you would do a stranger. So I feel like it would be an obligation to do that.
So why would it be wrong though? I don't think it's wrong.
Why would it be wrong if you
It
didn't
would
do
be the
it?
right thing to do. Again, I feel like that's a very beautiful thing to do. But if there's no obligation to it, you shouldn't have to if you don't
But
want
I
to.
generally feel like it should
The
be.
right thing to do, but it shouldn't be.
Okay, well, I get what you're saying, but I'm telling you that's how I perceive it to be.
But that's
So,
again, it's contradicting. Do you think that, but morally, do you think that your standpoint is right? It's not about
I
what,
think
again,
so.
just more.
I think my standpoint is 100% correct.
Why?
I already explained it to you. You're just like not accepting the answer. So I don't know how many times I have to explain it to you.
Because again, like you should apply those same principles to abortion, but
I
you're not,
should.
and you want to talk about it.
So I should apply the same rules to a stranger to my
You
family.
believe morally, and you said
So
you
no,
wouldn't.
wait, hold on.
Your opinion's right.
So I should apply the same moral rules to a stranger the same way to a family member.
Absolutely.
Is that what you think? What?
Oh my God! If there's no obligation to donating your blood to someone random and a family member, then absolutely, I think so.
So you think I should have the same moral code? Oh, okay. I don't know why she left. All right, let's bring up some people. All right. Hello.
Jesus. I'm pro-choice, but that was ridiculous.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
I don't even know what you guys was talking about. I didn't really get to hear it.
She kept like asking us the same question over and over and over again.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
answered times.
Was she pro-life or pro-choice?
I'm pro-life.
Pro-choice, but what you said would follow since you're pro-life anyway.
Yeah. I mean, it's okay if she couldn't accept my answer, but just saying it over and over and over again, saying, "Oh, I should do this," which is no, because
what she was saying herself.
what?
Yeah. She didn't understand what she was saying.
Yeah. But I'm free to talk to anybody about this topic, but we're gonna switch it to it is murder.
Okay.
So, you want me to explain why it's murder?
Sure, go ahead.
So I think it's.
I'd probably ask everyone if they're pro-life or pro-choice first, so then we get the understanding.
Okay, so two of them are pro-choice, right?
I'm pro-life.
Yeah,
Okay, so you're. Oh, you guys are pro-life. Oh.
Oh, it's just me then.
Ironic.
Yeah, it's ironic. The one bloke is pro-choice and the women are pro-life. Okay.
You mean the one boy?
Yeah, the one guy's like pro-choice.
Well, I think so. So we can get into the reason. So I think it's murder because I don't feel like any reason is justified enough to kill your future child, because I feel like the child's innocent and it obviously didn't do anything. It didn't create its own existence. That's what a mom and dad did. So I don't think you should eliminate it from life. So I do think it's murder because it's unjust.
All right.
Okay, who goes next?
Oh,
okay.
Do you think there's any circumstance that would justify AB?
No, because at the end of the day, I still feel like it's murder. Like, I'm not gonna say, oh, this circumstance.
Not if a woman's health was at risk, or
no,
was at risk.
No.
Really? So you
Well,
would
I
just
would
to
say,
die.
well, as a pro-lifer, I would say if the woman's health is at risk, I would prioritize the woman's life, because without her body, the fetus is just not going to live, and you're just going to have two deaths. So yeah, obviously you save the woman.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah,
there is other health measures to go through rather than, like, it shouldn't be the first option. Dependent on how many weeks pregnant she is, she could have a C-section. She doesn't have to give birth. I mean, at the end of the day,
100%. It doesn't really matter as like what time she's like.
Yeah, but there's always going to be a risk to pregnancy and all that.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say. Yep.
C-section is
But the
always
difference
going to be the
is,
last
yeah,
thing.
okay, and I get that, but the difference is there's low risk and there's high risk. So we're going to prioritize the high risk situations. The low risk is what majority of pregnancies have, and low risk. And you're going, okay, well, this is dangerous for this woman, but how many other women? It's a very, very low percentage for something bad to happen to a woman from these small risks. When we take in accountability of the high risks, it's a completely different outcome, and we'd have a different answer for you. But it's not all in the same,
Exactly.
I guess, section.
Yep.
Women in their 40s do actually have a high risk due to the age that they're having the pregnancy. Would you allow women in their 40s to have an AB?
I've never heard that.
I'm not defending it because the mother is just simply at risk, because any pregnancy is a risk. But if
Exactly.
she's actively dying, that's when I'm like, okay, you obviously save the mother.
But those
Do you
cases, like, I've never
believe-
heard of that before. To even like say, oh,
Right.
I mean, this is the only thing I would say, like, it's okay to do an AB, because I've never heard of it like that ever happening. So I'm not even going to really feed into it right now.
Yeah, but like if I had to engage with this and I had to say I had one circumstance, that would be the circumstance where she's actively dying.
Yeah, because-
a lot of women
yeah.
do die from